made the video of me making the braised red cabbage. And with that, make a disclaimer here. I'm sure this is in no way whatsoever healthy, but I'm sharing it because I make it to go along with the cabbage, or like when I make chili or whatever, I make homemade buttermilk cornbread. So my family likes that, and sometimes I'll have a little piece. It's really good, but I wouldn't eat a lot of it because, like I said, I'm disclaiming now, it's probably in no way healthy, because it has probably a lot of calories. It's fattening because it uses butter and buttermilk, and it's carby because it has flour and stuff in it. But anyway, I am going to show you how I make my buttermilk cornbread. And so here we go. So I'm doubling the recipe. So I'll tell you what should go in it for single recipe, but I'm going to put in, sorry, I had a hair and I didn't want it to fall off in my pot. I'm going to put in twice as much. So the first thing you do is you get butter. You need a half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick of butter, and you melt it in a large skillet. So I have my skillet heated up, and it is on high. So I'm going to melt the butter in there. And I'm going to wipe off my hands because there's butter on them. The sizzle of the butter, yes, see, that's what I'm saying. This isn't healthy. Well, unless your low carb butter is healthy, but then this has all the carbs in it, so that defeats the purpose. So I don't think this isn't healthy for the low fat people. It isn't healthy for the low carb people, but it sure does taste good. And like I said, I'm just sharing it so that if you like make cabbage or chili that is healthy, and then you know family members who want some homemade cornbread, I make this instead of like Jiffy Mix or whatever. And I think it's really good. Okay, so the butter is almost melted. Once I put in my butter, then I've already measured this. This is the sugar, but for the recipe, you'd use 2/3 cup of sugar. And you're going to put that in once the butter is melted. Like I said, my butter is almost melted. There we go. So I'm going to add in my sugar. And it's white sugar. I like to use sugar in the raw, but I only had like half a cup of that. So it wasn't enough for my whole recipe. So I stir that in, and then you take it off the heat because it doesn't need to be on the heat anymore. So turn off my burner, took it off the heat, spilled some sugar on the burner. It's smoking, not good. Okay, so I have this here, and then next you add 3 eggs. So once the sugar is mixed in, you add the 3 eggs. I already had them open, and I, you know, like you do scramble, whisked them already. So then you mix this. And once that's nice and mixed together, sorry, I have to look at my thing because like I said, I doubled this. So I want to make sure I'm telling you the right amounts for single. So after the sugar, I put in the 3 eggs, and then I have my buttermilk. You need 1 cup of buttermilk. With the buttermilk, you need, hang on 1 second. Into the buttermilk, actually, oh, my teaspoon fell down in here. I should have on an apron. I'm getting my stuff all over. In the buttermilk, sorry, you put in a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And you mix that up. And then you mix in the buttermilk into the sugar egg butter mixture. And you stir that all up. Okay. Then once you have that done, you have your cup of buttermilk in there. And then I am going to add flour. So you add 1 cup of flour. Actually, I'm going to use my fork instead of the spoon because it will mix my flour better. Sorry, when I'm doing this while recording, it seems like it's taking a lot longer than it does when I'm not recording. This is pretty quick though, because like I prepped the amounts that I needed before I made the video, just so I would have everything ready to dump it in. After I add the flour, I'm adding cornmeal. Sometimes I use white cornmeal. Sometimes I use yellow. This happens to be yellow cornmeal. And the cornmeal, you add 3/4 a cup. And you mix that in. While I'm mixing that, you also add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. And then you just mix this until it's mostly mixed with not many lumps. Okay, so that is mixed now, and then I'm using a large baking dish, like I said, because I'm doubling the recipe. So I like pre-greased it using coconut oil, but you can use butter. I guess it wouldn't hurt if I used butter since there's so much butter in this already, but I use coconut oil because it's healthier, so there's one healthy thing about this. And then I dump this into there. Into the baking pan. Okay. And I have preheated the oven to 375 already. So I will just put this in here. And then I am going to bake this for about 35 minutes. It might take 40 depending on your oven. And then it will come out nice and warm and delicious. And you can eat it with your cabbage, or your family can. Or I make it to go along when I make black eyed peas. I make it to go along with my chili. Anyway, it's good with a lot of things. It tastes a lot better than Jiffy Mix homemade buttermilk cornbread. I will show you it when I get done, or when it gets out of the oven. And like I said, disclaimer, not healthy, but your family will love it. Okay, so the cornbread is done right here. And I know it's done because I stuck the fork in and it came out clean. Anyway, so now we can cut it up and the family can eat it with the cabbage. And it smells really good. It's kind of like, it kind of tastes like cake, but not quite as sweet as cake. Anyway, that is my buttermilk cornbread. See you guys later.